Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Empowered Women. My guest for today is dr.Samia Alamoudi. She's the Associate Professor and Head of Sheikh Mohammed Hussein Alamoudi Scientific Chair of Breast Cancer at King Abdulaziz University in Jeddah. She's also a consultant obstetrician gynecologist and a woman with a mighty heart fighting her own battle. How are you today?
Thank you so much.
Before we start telling your story, let me ask you if you still remember. How was high school?
Wow, that was a long time ago, but it was one of the nice, let me say, period in life for me, maybe because of the changes and the things which happened when I was at that stage. When I remember when I was at the high school, my dream was to be a doctor, and at that time there was no college of medicine for girls in Jeddah area. So I thought, well, that's it. That's the end of the story. And subhanallah, just few months before we finished the high school, there was a big announcement that they're going to have School of Medicine in Jeddah area. It was a surprise to...
It was on your final year?
It was in the final, yes, it was in the final year. And I remember one of my best friends, she was planning to go to Cairo to finish her, to join the School of Medicine. And I was thinking, well, that's what we call faith in life. Mm-hmm. So I have no chance because my family will not allow me to go outside.
Mm-hmm. To travel on your own.
To travel on my own and to go abroad. But subhanallah, I joined the School of Medicine while she did not manage to go. And I became a doctor, she did not become a doctor. So sometimes life is full of surprises and it takes you
unexpected turns.
That's absolutely right.
So how come you wanted to be a doctor? Did you get any career counseling during high school, or you were encouraged to choose medicine as your choice, or no career counseling was involved?
Well, there is nothing such it's a new concept to have a counseling, career counsel. This is something new concept that we are hearing a lot of these days, which is a very good thing. But at that time, there was nothing like that. It was just personal wish, the family, and my grades were, I got high score in the college, in the high school, and it was a personal wish for me. I don't know, I felt that, I felt that it goes with my personality more than any other branches that I could join.
So do you believe that career counseling should be integrated in the educational system?
Oh yeah, absolutely, because you see a lot of people, they might not be able to have a well-defined branch to choose or a college to choose and join. So I think it helps the students a lot, and sometimes they don't know what's available. And like there are a lot of specialities, a lot of colleges, and nobody knows about it because they don't have an idea. Counseling helps them to find themselves in the right path.
Definitely, definitely. I think I agree. It should be integrated into the educational system. So now tell me your story. You had a great career going for you. You're a consultant obstetrician gynecologist, and a lot of dreams and aspirations on the way, and then something happened in the April of 2006. What was that?
Well, it was something that took my life in a different path. It was Friday. I remember that day exactly. I went for lunch with my children outside. Then when I came back, I was taking off my abaya, and just by chance, my hand hit my chest, and I felt something there. I felt a lump in my breast. So I don't know if this is, if I could say that a good luck or bad luck. Being a doctor, I started to examine myself like a doctor. So I started to feel the lump. What is it? Where is it?
Is it fixed? Is it mobile?
Exactly.
Is it
All the
painful?
signs
Is it painless?
I've started to look for all the signs that could tell me whether it's something benign or something more
I need to
than
worry
this.
about.
Oh yes. So once I felt the lump, then I felt the lymph node under the arm. Within seconds, I recognized that most probably, almost 99%, this is going to be cancer or this is cancer. So just within second, I recognized that it's happening to me now.
At home?
At home, I was at home.
Did you consult another friend, colleague?
Well,
To reconfirm
before I do anything, the first thing, and this was, I don't know, a reaction that I cannot explain it until now. Two things happened at that second. I remember that I started to go around and walk in my room, and I was just praying to God to give me the strength and be with me, because I know what's coming on. The second thing, I went to my children and I started to talk to them about it.
Immediately on the
Immediately.
first day?
The first thing, which was it was scary, but the first thing which came to my mind is my children. What's going to happen to them? So I went to them and I started to talk to them. I told them a story that I told them I just received a call from one of my friends in the United States. And she felt a lump and she's diagnosed to have cancer. So I told them she's worried about her children. She doesn't know what to do with them. So what do you think? Abdullah at that time, he was around 12, 13 years old. Isra was 9 years old. Abdullah asked me, is this a serious disease? You see, children, they have never heard of such a thing. I said, yes. He said, does this mean that their mother is going to die? I said, not necessarily. And he said, okay, you always say that we have to be direct, honest, we have to discuss things, so she should discuss it with them. Isra, you know, the girls, they are a bit sensitive and more emotional, exactly. So she said, is she going to be in pain? I said, of course, there is pain in this. She said, no, they should know so that they could be with her when she have pain, they could be around her. So this is the first thing which happened. After that, of course, I took my steps and started to consult friends and ask them.
Did you get a proper diagnosis?
Oh yeah, next day, immediately.
How long did it take you to confirm your diagnosis?
Things were very fast. Next day, Saturday, I had my mammogram. The mammogram showed that there is a tumor, and after they started the investigation, the third day, I started the isotope and the other, all the kinds of investigation. And by the end of the week, I had the biopsy, which confirmed the diagnosis. And the day I received the diagnosis, the biopsy, which confirmed that it's malignancy, it was 12th of April. It was my birthday day.
Oh my God.
On that day, yes. So
on your birthday, you're an obstetrician gynecologist, and the coincidences are just too amazing to ignore. So you're still on treatment?
I am, but I finished the basic treatment already. I'm just taking the Femara, which is tablets. People, for the cancer, we take it for 5 years. I'm already, this is my 3rd year on that medication.
Okay, so you're still on treatment, and you hope to carry on to 5 years on that pill. You're done with the basic treatment, and what was the basic treatment?
Okay, it varies from one patient to the other, but for me, because the tumor was a little big, so it was an advanced stage and big size, so they had to start with the chemotherapy.
What stage are you in?
Okay, I'm late 2nd stage, and I had chemotherapy for around 6 months. Then I had the surgery, which is lumpectomy, and this is just they remove the tumor and leave the breast. After that, I had 25 episodes of radiotherapy.
Did it,
radiotherapy?
I will say it in medical terms, Did your tumor metastasize?
No.
It did not.
يعني alhamdulillah it was not. It was localized and
it did not spread
but
anywhere.
the pathology it came telling that it was HER2 positive. For medically it means that 20% only of the breast cancer patient they tend to have this kind of breast cancer tumor or malignancy, and it's one of the more aggressive kind medical wise, and the survival is short or less than the others. The recurrence rate is higher, but thanks God I think we are fortunate now because there are a lot of advancement in the medications and the treatment. I had a treatment which is one of the relatively new medication called Herceptin for a whole 1 year. And this is one of the best drugs to avoid recurrence for such kind of tumor.
And to keep it under control.
Yes.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We'll talk some more about why did you choose to share your story. You're very well known for sharing your story. You're the first Saudi woman to share her story with breast cancer. We'll talk some more about that, but right after this short break. Welcome back to Empowered Women. I'm sitting down with Dr.Samia Alamoudi. So you are the first Saudi woman to choose to share her story of the disease. Why did you choose to do so? Why did you choose to tell people that you had breast cancer?
Well, I don't know. I got a feeling that my disease or my illness, it's meant to be for a good reason. I got this feeling from the start.
It's a calling.
It is, in a way. And being a doctor, being a mother, being a woman, and I feel that it's a responsibility. I'm responsible for telling other people so that not to have the same problem that I had, to avoid, because the most important thing is the early detection in these cases. And we are trying to teach other women to have the early detection and to have the regular screening, to have the regular mammogram. So it's a message that we deliver to all the patients. So I felt that I have to talk to people, especially when you feel that, like in Saudi Arabia and most of the Arab countries, they don't talk about cancer. Sometimes they don't even call it cancer. They call it that disease, the bad disease. My mother, and I'm sure...
That's lack of awareness.
Exactly. Lack of awareness. They don't even to mention the name. I always say, like in Harry Potter, when they said the devil, that one. So they don't...
That one cannot be named.
Exactly. They don't call it cancer. They say the bad disease. So I felt that there is a lot of misconception, a lot of silence, that we have to break that silence.
You are the author of 13 books, and your publications include Break the Silence, 2nd edition in English, My Journey with Breast Cancer in Arabic, and Breast Cancer Survivors in Saudi Arabia in English. Brief us on them.
Well, the Break the Silence, I have it in Arabic and I have it in English as well. It's actually the articles that I wrote in Al-Madina newspaper. I have regular column, even before the breast cancer story, and I used to write weekly. I like writing, and I've been having this column for more than 20 years.
You are a talented doctor.
You could say in a way, but I like the writing. So when I got the breast cancer, I felt that it's something which is going to be good for others, to share my story with them. So I started to write my story in the newspaper, in the Medina, in my column. And after that, I collected that one, and it was collected in a book, which is the Arabic Break the Silence. The Survivors, it was about the launch of the breast cancer partnership between the United States and Saudi Arabia. And this was the launch, which was under the patronage of King Abdullah from bin Abdul Aziz and Her Highness Princess Hissa, his wife. And from the United States part, it was the Laura Bush, the former ex-lady. And it was, the launch was in Riyadh. But the former First Lady, Laura Bush, she wanted to have a meeting with survivors, Saudi women. And we arranged for a meeting with some of the ladies who agreed to talk to her and to talk in public about their story. And that was the breast cancer survivors. It was about documentation.
Was it difficult to find ladies?
It was
to
extremely
talk in
difficult. Oh yes, it was.
Doesn't this surprise you that they should be more outgoing? They should be speaking. They should be telling more people about it.
You see, the things are moving now in a better direction. People started to talk as if they were just waiting for somebody to say that, well, it's not a stigma. It's not something that we should feel ashamed of. It's a disease like any other disease. But you see, there's a lot of reason why people do not like to talk. Some of them, they don't like to talk because they are not empowered with information. They don't know much about the disease. They think that they are going to die once they have breast cancer. Others and other women, and there is a group of women who think that if people know that they have breast cancer, they might not propose to their daughters. So it's
cultural misconception.
Cultural misconception, exactly.
So I heard something amazing. Your children, Isra, 12 years old, and Abdullah, 16 years old, may God keep them, they wrote 2 books. And how did that happen, and what are they called, the books? Are they published, proper books?
Oh yeah, they are published, and it's one of the tools that we are using for educating children and young generation. Well, it happened one day. Isra told me, I would like to show you something on my laptop, and I was surprised. I was really surprised when I saw that she make the story, she wrote the story, the design, everything.
Wow.
So
all on her own.
I felt, yes, on her own. And it touched me very, very deeply in my heart, because I felt how children get involved emotionally with our problems. Sometimes we underestimate the amount of feeling they have.
They can think about it almost every day,
yes,
every night.
Yes, yes. One of the things which was as well surprising, and I did not expect it from Isra, and I wrote this, and it's in her book as well. She asked me, now you have breast cancer. Does this mean that when I grow up I will have cancer like you? It was sudden question. I had to be very honest with her, and I could not believe that a 9 or 10 years old lady, girl at that time, she thinks in this way, and she
but
has.
I have to say, she is a young lady.
She's
not a.
she's not a
girl. She's a young lady.
So at that time, I said, okay, listen, Isra. Yes, any female could have breast cancer, but it's not necessarily that you have breast cancer. The other thing I told her, well, nowadays when we talk like about certain diseases, we say in the past people used to die from tuberculosis, from
the flu.
Whatever.
It killed 50 million
exactly,
people in 1980.
Exactly. So hopefully what we are doing now, what we are doing is trying to reach a day when you and your friends will come and sit together and say, well, in the past there was a disease used to kill women. It's called breast cancer. So this was the story of her book. Then Abdullah, I told him, listen, Isra now is doing this book. Why don't you do a book as well, so that we could approach young boys in your age? And then he started to write that one.
Him being a boy, it's really confusing for males since they cannot identify with the female physiology. So it's a lot of confusion. It's their mother, it's their sister, it's their wife, it's their daughter.
This is the message, because they believe that it's a disease of women, so they don't talk about it. And it's a disease, breast cancer. I always keep saying that it's a disease of the family. It affects every member of the family. It affects the husband, the father, the son. Everybody is affected. The other thing which makes me very keen to have these books distributed everywhere, and they are distributed free. I believe that sometimes you might not be able to change adults. You will find a lot of resistance. So let's work on the new generation. It's much easier to educate this future generation, because the girls like Isra and her friends, they are the future mom, and they are the future, the woman in the future who, if they grow on certain correct beliefs in health, this will empower them with knowledge, and we will have a generation who doesn't have the phobia of cancer, like what
There'll
we have.
be more pro-awareness,
Exactly.
pro-breast cancer.
Yes, yes. We will break the
fighting.
phobia, we'll break the silence. And it's happening now. I noticed that, like Isra and her friends, they have the pink ribbon on their abaya. When they draw or they write, sometimes
They have a cause.
they have a cause, and they understand what's the big ribbon. Sometimes you have adults and even medical people who doesn't know what does it mean to have
That
the
is
pink
true.
ribbon.
We will talk some more about your participation in media and awareness on the topic of breast cancer, but right after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Empowered Women. You've participated in multiple programs such as the CNN and ABC's Good Morning America, 15 television episodes, and a weekly column in the Medina newspaper. You've written 31 articles up till now. You've compiled them in a book. What are you aiming at?
To break the silence. The first thing which I felt that is a must, because when I got the breast cancer, I remember when I told my family about the diagnosis, the first thing, most of them, they told me, okay, now let us keep it just between us, no need that other people know about it. So I felt that
This is the stereotype.
the stereotype which happens everywhere with every family. So I felt that no, I have to go and speak and educate others about it, because, and I told my family, I told them the cancer by itself is a stress. So I don't need another stress of having this stress of that
compiling it and keeping it inside.
And I start to worry about people, they know or they don't know. I don't think this is right. The other thing, unless we talk about it, we are not going to find the way to support other people. You see, the people, the empowering women and families with knowledge is the only way to support them in the fight against breast cancer. So this is why I thought I should go in public, and media is the best tool. I believe very strongly in media, because this is the outreach. People like in Saudi Arabia and other Arab countries, they might not read, they might not have access to internet, but for the TV, the outreach is amazing, because I mean, even in the kitchen sometimes you can't find the TV.
Definitely.
So this is the only
somebody
way.
will see it somewhere, and somebody will learn something,
yes.
and so this someone might help someone else.
Absolutely. And when they feel and they see a live example, it gives a different impact. It's not like when you give a lecture. I always say, when you give thousands of lectures, sometimes people might and might not listen to you. But if you give them a live example who's living, they can see that I'm having cancer, but I still
you have a career.
I have
you
my
enjoy
career.
your life
It's
with
not
your
the end of
kids.
the. It's not the end of the life. So it's a message that I felt it's a responsibility and a mission in life.
You've been awarded many times, and if you are, on March 2007, First International Women of Courage Award by the U.S. Department of State. On the 15th of January, the President of the United States and the First Lady showed appreciation and support to your work during their visit to the Kingdom. And on the 23rd of August 2008, you were honored and received Al-Miftaha Award from Prince Faisal bin Khalid of Asir region. And last but not least, Princess Al-Anoud bint Abdullah, wife of Prince Khalid Al-Faisal, Prince of Mecca region, organized an event honoring your cause involving breast cancer. Those are only a few, and I do mark that I just picked a few. Has your career life been rewarding enough, or do you aspire for more?
Let me tell you, on the
Are you content, or do you feel there's much more for you to do?
For the work and the responsibility as such, I feel that we are still in the beginning. We have a lot to be done for the cause, for the breast cancer. The award, I have to be very honest with you, on the personal level, we look for satisfaction, and we feel we appreciate the appreciation of the others. But for me, maybe I took it in a different way, that it was like supporting my cause, because when I got the award from the State Department, that was something which like ringing a loud bell. So people kept asking, what is it? Why is it? Why the what was the award? Exactly. For me, it was a way of delivering the message, because people started to talk about, oh, it's because of breast cancer, because she got breast cancer, because she talked about breast cancer.
It's more of an award for ending breast cancer.
It's not me that they were talking about. It was about breast cancer. And this is the thing which I was looking for, to have a way to deliver the message to every single woman.
You wanted to focus the spotlight on
the breast cancer.
So your story is included in the secondary school's English curriculum since 2008 under People Who Made a Difference. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it was a nice feeling, to be honest. It was like a great support for the things I'm doing, because the outreach and the reach to have it in the curriculum of the schools, it means that people now they started to recognize that we do have a problem. The other thing, it helps because this is the way to empower the young generation with knowledge. It's not the inspiration and think about the people per se, but it's about the cause itself as well. To mention breast cancer, which is until recently was a sensitive, critical issue that people do not like to talk about, and to include it in the curricula and teach the students, male and female, I think that was, to me, it was a great support.
A great achievement on an academic level. You're now establishing the first breast cancer center of excellency in the region at the King Abdulaziz University in Jeddah. Tell us a little about that.
Well, this center is the first center of excellency of its kind in the region. And
what does Center of Excellency mean? Why did you choose the word Center of Excellency?
Okay, because the Center of Excellency, it means that we are delivering services that are unique and they are kind of excellent services. Actually, the idea behind it is that when I was diagnosed, I had a lot of problems during all the steps in my treatment, and I felt that there's a lot of need for certain medical services. There's a gap in the medical services that we should fulfill.
And you recognized that because you needed it as a patient and you knew it as a doctor.
Exactly. So I've started to think that it's time to have this kind of center in Saudi Arabia, especially when I was in the United States. I've been to Johns Hopkins Cancer Center, to MD Cancer Center, and to Susan G. Komen. All these centers, I've started to learn a lot about the way they deal with the breast cancer as a multidisciplinary way of managing the cases. So we thought that it's time that we have Center of Excellency. The university is the best place because of the, it's
a center of knowledge and to spread knowledge.
Exactly. And we are lucky to have the president who's a great advocate and support for breast cancer in particular. And of course, the sponsoring, the fund, it came from Sheikh Mohammed Alamoudi, who already is the sponsor of the scientific chair. And he believes in the cause. And he is a great support for the cause. So we took the permission, we took the agreement from Sheikh Mohammed, and we started establishing the center.
And he's your main sponsor?
He is the sponsor, yes.
Well, we applaud his achievement.
Thank you.
You are a single mom and have 2 kids, a demanding job, a calling, a cause to fight for. Is it difficult to keep a balance between work and home?
It is. To be honest, it is sometimes, but it depends on the way you are handling things, organizing things. Because of the brutalization, I feel sometimes that my work comes as a priority, while at other time, my children, they become priority. If one of them is sick or he needs me for any reason, he is a priority at that time. If I have a patient who is in need, then she is a priority to me. So it's just a matter of organization, but it's not easy, to be honest. It's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
No.
So does your work ever come home with you?
Yes. Most of the time, if not always.
Oh my God. Yes. And how do you deal with that? How can you get to the house and your job is following you into the house? Is there a time where you separate yourself from all of the work and concentrate only on your children per day?
Let me tell you, since I got breast cancer and since the time I was diagnosed with breast cancer, it's a mission in life that involves my whole life. So it's me, whether at home or at work. Even if I feel that sometimes I have the guilt feeling because of my children, I always keep the things open and straight and discuss issues with them. And I explain to them why I'm doing this, why I'm taking part of their time and spending more time. And they appreciate because they know that I'm doing it for people, for others, and for them.
So you made the cause and your family part of your full life circle.
Oh, yes.
So who of your children resembles you the most, Isra or Abdullah?
Both of them, they have, few things.
Certain characteristics.
For the career, Abdullah is well defined. He wants to be a doctor. Isra, she did not make up her mind yet.
She's still not there.
She's not, yes.
So whom do you take after?
I believe my uncle. He is the one who shared my mother raising me. My father died when I was around 9-10 years old. So I think he's the one.
And now in the bottom of your heart, what is the most important goal in your life?
Breast cancer, to see a day that breast cancer is history. I'm doing this for Isra and for others, so that we reach a day when breast cancer
will be just an old bedtime story.
Yes.
I hope so. So, do you have any other dreams besides breast cancer?
Of course, for my children, and I wish that
just like any other mother,
to see them, and inshallah, until they finish the most, they could achieve whatever they want, and to be there at the best, and to be there when they achieve this.
I think if you're their mother, they will be great achievers.
Inshallah.
So, did you ever consider retiring, and why?
No, I don't think. Sometimes. Maybe, I don't know,
you really might not
believe it.
That's
but
the last thing.
No, sometimes even I think, what if I have recurrence? Because it's cancer, it might recur anytime. And sometimes I feel deep in my heart that even if I have recurrence, even if I am on bed, I will continue to work. I don't think I could stop.
Wow, that is a great perspective to look at things.
I don't know. I find myself in work. I don't think I could stop ever.
So what do you do after a long day at work? How do you relax?
I like writing. This is why, and I find myself when I take the pen and start writing an article or...
You don't find it exhausting at all?
No, I find it a relief and a relaxing thing for me. I'm involving myself nowadays with the writing a documentary about the... it's not about my life, but about female medical, female doctors.
The female doctors.
Yes, and it's a documentary film, but a documentary book. But I find myself in this kind of writing.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Alamoudi, we were honored to meet with you today. And we wish you all the best on your mission and your cause. And we wish you full health, great health, and to recover 100%. Our best regards to your children both of them. And to every woman with breast cancer, we support your cause.
Thank you so much for the great support as well.
You're most welcome. And to you, our audience, thank you for joining us for today. This was Mohamed Khalifah from the Second Saudi Channel.